Hello and welcome back to the Real EFL YouTube channel. I've got to be honest, this was a video that we did not plan to make only a few days ago. We had a bit of a schedule of videos coming out, but last night, how amazing was that? Ollie Watkins bagging that last-minute winner for England. So, to be honest, Ivan, I'm joined by Ivan, by the way. To be honest, Ivan, we literally just sat there last night and said, we've got to do a video. We've got to do an England EFL video here, haven't we? I mean, look, last night, what was going through your mind when that goal went in?
I couldn't believe it hit the back of the net at first. From that angle, how on earth he squeezed it in from there. I think when Watkins came on, I said to a couple of my mates, can you imagine if it's him? Like, this isn't me just saying it for the sake of it. I genuinely said this. I was like, can you imagine if it's Ollie Watkins to send us to a final? And I mean, he did it, and I just couldn't believe it when it, like I said, when it hit the back of the net. From that angle, it looked too tight when he first hit it, but he couldn't have placed it any better, like literally any better. And yeah, I mean, we're so lucky at the minute. I mean, we're both 21, aren't we? So we're so lucky to be in this era where England are getting to finals. Yes, the football's not been that attractive for the majority of the tournament, but I think, don't care. In the game against the Netherlands, we were excellent. So yeah, absolutely buzzing, mate.
No, honestly, it was pretty incredible, and I've got to be honest. Now cannot wait for Sunday and this weekend. It's gonna be a big one, as I'm sure it will be across the whole of the country. But we wanted to do a video just to have a little bit of a look at the EFL's contribution and influence on this England squad. It's been spoken about a little bit, but we thought there's so many important sort of things to talk about. And I think, the right starting place is last night. Obviously, Cole Palmer slipping the ball through to Ollie Watkins on the stroke of the 90th minute. And well, obviously the country, myself, Ivan included, erupted in emotion as, like you say, somehow that ball hit the back of the net. I mean, that turn, that finish, it was sublime. But what it also did was symbolised English football perfectly. From non-league to the top, rags to riches, zero to hero, any overused YouTube FIFA career mode title you can think of. That's what Ollie Watkins did yesterday. Now, cast your mind back to March 2014. Me and Ivan, as we've just said, we're both... I'm 20, he's 21. We were both getting ready for our year 6 SATs. Mental. Ollie Watkins, he was making his senior debut for his boyhood club, Exeter City. A loan move to non-league Western Supermare followed before his breakout years at St James's Park. Yep, still Exeter this time, not Newcastle. And then in the 16-17 season, he scored like 15 goals, got 11 assists, and that earned him the move to Brentford, where he'd go on to score 49 times in 143 matches, which then earned him the move to Aston Villa, where he has shone for the last few campaigns. I mean, last season, for example, he netted 19 times. It must be horrible being a striker in the Premier League at the minute when Erling Haaland's there. But Ollie Watkins is immense, and he showed that again last night. And he's an EFL lad through and through, isn't he, Ivan? I mean, what a story it is, not just for him as a person, but for English football as a whole.
As I say, he's probably... I mean, Exeter have got a great academy, and you look at some of the players they've had come through that, but Watkins is by far and away their most notable academy graduate. He was absolutely superb for them, helped them to the League Two playoff final in 2017. I will mention this as a Carlisle fan because he scored 2 goals and got an assist against us in the semis, but then they would lose that final to Blackpool. But I think he's always had the talent, but it's just such... I think when he scored last night, because we're obviously massive EFL fans, we're in EFL channel, one of the first things that I thought, and you see it on our socials, first thing that was put out straight away was made in the EFL. And it's so good to see players who have started not from the bottom, because starting at Exeter in League Two is not the bottom, but you're not coming through one of these top academies to get to the top. And he's now got to the top. He's got England into a European final. He's one of the best strikers in the Premier League as well. And I just think there's so much to like about the way that he's done it as well.
There absolutely is. And again, like you say, his stats in the EFL are honestly insane. He has played, out of the whole of the England squad, he's actually played the most amount of games in League Two, which again is, it's just mind-blowing to think that those sort of stats exist You look at the likes of Ivan Toney. He's played the most EFL games overall with 273. He's also played the most in League One. Watkins, as I said, the most in League Two. Any idea who the one in the Championship is?
I want to say Trippier.
That is
But
correct.
that's because I may have done some research beforehand.
Yep, Kieran Trippier has played the most in the Championship. I mean, like you say, just look at those stats, that overview, if you like, the amount of clubs that have been represented. It's immense. I mean, Ivan, talk us through the squad and just how many players have got roots in the EFL.
I was going to say it's crazy when you look at it. It does show how strong the pyramid still is. I know that there's not ongoing problems necessarily, but there's definitely a bit of a gap, I suppose, between the Premier League and the EFL at points. But I think it's 19 of the 26-man squad have played in the EFL. And you look at last night's starting lineup and you had 7 players in there. Jordan Pickford, he's played on loan for Burton, Carlisle, Bradford and Preston. 51 appearances in League One, 24 in the Championship and 12 in League Two. And I think there's quite a few of these players have played in all 3 tiers. He was also Carlisle's goalkeeper and we got relegated in 2014, which is a nice little way to remember him. You then got Carl Walker, who's permanent with Sheffield United, also had loans with Northampton and QPR, 51 appearances in the Championship, 9 in League One. With Sheffield United, that was kind of a springboard onto better things. And I mean, he's won basically everything he can in club football with Manchester City. Also played for Tottenham, which he didn't win anything, but I don't think anyone does there. That leads on to John Stones.
The Audi Cup.
Yeah, that leads on to John Stones, who obviously plays alongside him at club level. He was permanent at Barnsley with 24 appearances in the Championship. Academy product, who had his debut at 17. Broke onto the scene in the Championship back in 2012 or 2012-13 season. And just like Walker, won basically everything in club football. Alongside Stones, you got Mark Gahey, who I think has been sensational this tournament. Because there's been so many questions about our centre-back to play alongside Stones. And Gahey stepped up phenomenally to be that man alongside him. He had a loan at Swansea, or 2 loans at Swansea, making 57 appearances in the second tier. Helped them to the playoff final in 2021 and the semi-final the season before. And it's fair to say that Swansea have regressed a fair bit since then. Don't know about you, but I don't think they'll be too good next year. And I'm not saying that's because Gahey's not there. That was like 3 years ago. But I think they've been on a bit of a downhill.
I think they would probably improve if Gahey was there.
Yeah, probably. You'd like to think. Then at left back, or I'd say then at left back from last night, Kieran Trippier, who's not a left back. I think he's such a good player, but he's the only one that
it just doesn't work, does it?
It just doesn't work. Yeah, I was going to say he annoys me. It's not his own doing because he's been put in that position, but I just think that's the only query that I've really got over the squad at the minute.
But then Luke Shaw came on, and if arguably we then got worse. So therefore, actually, Kieran Trippier is the glue for the team.
yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, he was permanent with Burnley and on loan with Barnsley. Like we said, most appearances in the Championship, 174. He was a mainstay in Burnley's side for a number of years and won promotion with them in 2012-13. Going through onto midfield, so I'm just rattling all these off now. Jude Bellingham. Everyone knows about Bellingham at Birmingham, don't they? 42 appearances in the Championship. Number 22 was retired at the club for a 17-year-old. And there were plenty of questions then, but who is laughing now?
Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
I mean, he's not had the best tournament. I don't think he's been, or at least for me, I don't think he's quite hit the same heights that I thought he would, especially after that first game. But still, he's so important to the team that Southgate's got. Another player that's so important to the team is Harry Kane. And he's loaned with Orient, Millwall and Leicester. 37 appearances in the Championship, 18 in League One. One of the greatest strikers of all time. Love him or hate him, you cannot deny the fact that he's one of the best goal scorers. He's also given plenty back to Orient, who was his first loan, where he'd sponsored the shirt for a number of seasons. And that was the 7 from the starting lineup yesterday. But then also we had a couple of bench appearances who are also in the EFL. Ezri Konsa, permanents with Charlton and Brentford. 73 appearances, League One, 42 in the Championship. mainstay for Charlton for 2 seasons. He's another great player. And after he got that suspension, stepped up massively and he was great. Conor Gallagher as well on loan with Charlton. I feel like Charlton are a team that we're mentioning loads in this video. They've had a really good both academy as well as getting in loans as well. So he's played for Charlton and Swansea, 47 appearances in the Championship. Then, although he wasn't used as a sub last night, a player who's been mightily important, I'd say, to England is Ivan Toney. And he's got the best of the lot when it comes to his career. Northampton, Barnsley, Shrewsbury, Scunthorpe, Wigan, Peterborough, and Brentford, who were an EFL side when he joined them. 172 appearances in League One, 53 in League Two, and 48 in the Championship. That is a career path that I just think is incredible. Or not career path. Well, it is still an incredible career path. But the amount of appearances he's got in EFL, he's got over 100 goals as well, progressed into the Premier League with Brentford. One of Peterborough United's greatest ever strikers. You look at how his goal scoring record for them, Johnson Clark Harris is probably the only player that's got near that. He was just simply superb. And he also knows how to take a penalty. I'll just quickly go through the rest of the players because these have all been, well, they've not had as significant impact in the tournament. You got Eberechi Eze, permanent with QPR, loan with Wickham, 104 Championship appearances, 20 in League Two. Jared Bowen, who was with Hull, 117 appearances for them, did come up through the National League with Hereford, but obviously that's not the EFL, but still that's insane. Anthony Gordon, 11 appearances in the Championship, Preston on loan. Aaron Ramsdale, who won't play this tournament, obviously, but Chesterfield on loan, Wimbledon on loan, Sheffield United. Although he has been relegated with both Chesterfield and Sheffield United, he's also another player that's played in all 3 tiers. Joe Gomez, another one from Charlton, academy product, 21 appearances in the Championship. Lewis Dunk, Brighton, and then he also had like a 2-game loan spell with Bristol City. 166 championship appearances, 8 in League One for Brighton, and he's a great servant to the club that's gone all the way up. Dean Henderson, Sheffield United, Grimsby, and Shrewsbury, another player who's done all 3 tiers, 46 in the Championship, 41 League One, 7 in League Two. And that takes me on to the final one, and I purposely put this player last because I love the story. I do not care that he's not played a minute all season. Adam Wharton, playing in the Championship still in January, now included in the England squad. He's had one hell of a year, and I just think it's one of the best stories. I'd love to have seen him make an appearance, but we're not going to get that out of him. I don't think. I think there's too many players that are ahead of him in the pecking order in that midfield, which actually segues really well into my next bit. There are 4 other players. Sorry, I've talked for ages, but there are 4 other players.
Please go ahead. I'm just enjoying sitting back and listening to this.
Declan Rice, Kobe Mainoo, Bukayo Saka and Cole Palmer haven't played for a lower league side, but have all featured in the EFL trophy, also known as the Bristol Street Motors Trophy now, although I'll still call it the Pizza Cup. They've all appeared for their respective Premier League under-21 sides, so there's still some EFL involvement there, which leaves only Foden, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Luke Shaw as the 3 players that have never had any sort of EFL involvement, I guess. And if that doesn't show you that the Football League pyramid is quintessential to English football, then I don't know what does. It's just, like reading off all of those names and the amount of appearances there, it just shows just how strong the Football League is, and it deserves so much more credit than it probably gets.
Well, that's it. Like you say, 19 of the 26 played in the EFL. 28 EFL clubs represented by this England squad. I say 28. 27 by players, 1 by Gareth Southgate with Middlesbrough. Like you say, there's just so many appearances overall. The combined market value of those 19 players sits at 854 million. Like, what is this? And that just sums up, like you say, the EFL and its importance on the England national team. And also, a note on the international reach of the EFL, because one of the Dutch starting 11 last night has also played in the EFL. Go on then, Ivan, I'm going to test you on this. Any idea?
Well, I know Weghorst is technically playing in it next year for Burnley.
Yeah, but he's never played a game in the Championship.
No, go on. I don't actually know.
Nathan Ake on
Okay.
loan with Reading. A good
I
few years
actually
ago.
I didn't even know that. So that's
Yeah.
very good.
Played 5 matches in the Championship.
Oh wow.
And bearing in mind on their bench as well, they had Ian Matson, who's played in the Championship. So yeah, look, there's so many of these kind of stories, if you like, from across the whole of the Euros, not just in the England team, of players that are featured in the EFL, and just how important it is as a pyramid. And that's the thing. The point of this video. Okay, yeah, we wanted to talk about England and we wanted to talk about last night, of course we did. But it's to celebrate the English football pyramid. Of course, we're focusing on the EFL, but it doesn't stop there. It carries on deep into non-league. It may not have the same amount of money as the Premier League, but its passion, its reach, the opportunities it provides are no less important. One player that didn't make the squad, but is currently playing for Italian giants AC Milan, is Fikayo Tomori. He made his full debut in the 4th round of the FA Cup against then National League side Lincoln City. He scored an own goal in that game, but we're going to ignore that. And Lincoln only got into that 4th round because they won a replay against Ipswich Town. Anyone would think those FA Cup replays are actually important, but that's a whole nother topic.
Had to get it there.
I did have to get that in because, again, it's another thing that just sums up the importance of the pyramid, and that's just what we wanted to discuss. We've discussed it. Roll on Sunday. It's going to be an incredible weekend. Roll on the next load of videos that are coming out on this channel. If you want to make sure that you're the first to know about them, click that subscribe button. Also click that notification bell as well. Like this video if you did enjoy. And let us know your predictions for Sunday. Ivan, I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me a score prediction.
I'm actually going 2-1 England now. I think we've got better with every game this tournament, and yesterday has just fully given me so much hope. So let's hope it does come home.
Well, I am going to go for a slightly less optimistic viewpoint, but I think this is going to be an unbelievably nervy game for us as fans. 1-1, penalties. England to win them.
Come on.
There we go. Let us know what you guys think. Until next time, goodbye.